Army Hearties, ahoy and welcome. 'Tis I, Captain FaceBeard, back reacting to more awesome music with Heather.
Hey.
If in this be your first voyage with us, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out on none of the good stuff.
No.
We now record all of her reactions live on Twitch. I only know Heather's days off 1 week in advance. That's why it's important to follow us and turn on notifications so you know when we're live. And check our schedule for upcoming streams. You can find playlists for these and other bands in the description.
Alright, so this one is aesthetic perfection. Just because I saw the thumbnail and I was like, okay, this looks really, really, really interesting. Weird instruments in metal, when implemented well, sound so damn good. Alright, Fermented Offal, O-F-A-L, Discharge from Necrophagist. Go look for that song, but type in clarinet as well, and you will see a dude play that entire song on clarinet. Now, watch when he gets to the point where the guitar solo happens, because at about 2/3 of the way through, about 3/4 of the way through the guitar solo, you see him start getting up and doing this and stuff like that, because he's about to pass the hell out. Like, it's amazing. Like, dude is just like, okay, we're impressed. We are impressed. Like,
Clarinet players represent. I used to play clarinet.
Yeah. I don't know how the hell he didn't just go. Like, during the end of that solo, because he wasn't breathing for a good minute.
Damn.
Yeah, it was impressive. All right.
Oh, before we start this.
Yeah.
I was down at the grocery store today, and that reminded me of something.
Cool.
So at the grocery store, there's this big thing of, like, candy. The Rockets candy, they call them something else. We call them Rockets. What
Sweet Tarts?
They call them Smarties.
Okay.
We call them Rockets. So it had all these sugary candies in it. And you know what else was in there? Tiny little recorders. I was like, what the hell are you doing? That is just a bag of a whole lot of bad. Like, you buy that for the person you hate's kids.
Yeah.
You give them a whole bunch of sugar and then a whole bunch of tiny recorders to run around with? Think about it. That's just a bad afternoon.
Okay, this happened one afternoon, okay? I'm going to get a visual aid.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not going to make a terrible noise with it because it is a terrible, terrible, terrible sounding thing. But the kid upstairs, we live in an apartment building. The kid that was upstairs, he had one of these, a recorder, and he picked just one note. And he was like, I'm going to rock this note for 45 minutes straight,
Yep.
every 4 seconds or so. And you can just hear, like, so much for a good, it was getting close to an hour. And then I just heard a woman break down and scream at this kid in a way where you're like, lady, you're a bad parent. Like, the shit she said to this poor kid. I mean, this kid broke her. And I was down here just going... I was so proud of that kid, man. Just room to leave. It was amazing.
Anyway, now,
all right.
without further ado,
Let's become aesthetically perfect.
yes, let's see what aesthetic perfection.
That's a mask.
Hey, you have my attention.
There is a darkness, inflation stage at war, a inner conflict that seems a vitriol. We're taking the candles to crumble and fall. We time for a time to make something at all. There's nothing to hold them to love. Is there no hope? We wanna be free. We're hanging on something to family tree. I'm glad we're running the track. Is there no hope? For all our woes.
Interesting.
When we outgrow her endless war of gods and gold.
Okay, so this dude was pretty much just like, everybody stand back. I am going to channel Manson, and I'm going to channel Andy Black. So just everybody hold on. And I'm going to do it in beautiful fucking makeup.
And be fabulous. I love it.
There is no justice. There is just rage and greed. To live with conscience is to live on your knees. The sea is the face of the price that you pay. The blackness is burning inside of the day. We're heading to hell in a blaze. Is there no hope? Taking intentions and dragging them down. Loyally, royally, paid for the crown.
I actually appreciate this a lot.
Yeah.
No, you cannot.
It's that inhale scream.
I don't know why. Maybe just because I've been listening to these guys recently. But I'm getting weirdly nothing more vibes. A little bit. A little bit. I don't know why.
Oh. It's because the chord progression of this is basically the same
As Go to War?
No, as Let It Burn.
Let it burn, because
Yeah.
I was getting
Let
Go
it
to
burn,
War.
let it burn. Yeah, it's pretty much
Go
Let
to
It Burn.
war. I actually really enjoyed that, personally.
I'm split.
I wasn't sure if you'd like it as much, but I was more of a Manson fan than you ever were, I think.
Yeah, I was never the craziest about Manson, but it's also that inhale screaming, which is the basic effect that I use to try to summon the Kraken. Just the
Yeah.
like that kind of thing, like that.
Yeah.
By inhaling, right? And it's always going to, unfortunately, it's going to sound a bit off. He's by far doing it better than anybody else I've ever heard try to do the inhale type scream. I'd have to hear a little bit more to see if he changes that up. His voice, that's like his plain singing voice is amazing.
Yes,
oh,
I
it's
like his
beautiful. I
plain
love
singing
it.
voice a lot.
But I'd like to hear a little bit of a different scream because there is that weird factor to the to that inhale scream that just sounds a
I
bit
think
off.
it just took me back to the early industrial days.
Yeah, it did. It
Honestly, and that's what I think I liked about it because I was kind of into that. I had my industrial phase back then.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I think I missed a little bit of that that industrial.
Yeah, a little bit of the lighter side of the industrial stuff, like not the
industrial
real
phase.
like heavy Fear Factory and
No, not.
Nine Inch Nails stuff, but more like Manson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that time of industrial metal.
But the difference is that as far as I know, Manson can't sing at all normally. You can just do the scream. I've never heard him try to sing normally.
Manson was always more about his lyrics than it was about his actual singing
Yeah.
place. It was more about his poetry than anything else.
Yeah.
That's what it was always more about than anything. And of course his persona.
Yeah. And the antics and the shock and
Oh, yeah.
and just
My generation's Alice Cooper is all he was.
Yeah.
Really and truly.
here's something you're going to find possibly musically offensive, and I don't care. And it's that
Controversial
that
opinion.
Radiohead was my generation's Pink Floyd.
I agree.
Aye, that's me name. Do you realize this is kind of stupid? I don't want to do this. You can do your own jingle. I've got standards. I'm not doing it.